42 with under 3 to play here in the quarter, and a little extra testiness on the Mercury bench between Skylar Diggins-Smith and Diana Taurasi. Oh, to be a fly on Turner's shoulder to hear that conversation.
Well, Diggins-Smith, she's got 2 points. She's 1 of 4. She's got 5.
Hello once again, guys. Yes, another day has gone by, and yet another day of more Seattle Storm. Okay, the WNBA basketball women's team, the Seattle Storm tea is brewing. Okay, a storm is coming, a storm is approaching. Okay, Skylar Diggins-Smith, she's starting to hit back at the haters. She's talking about, y'all need to quit this lying. She even used Kendrick Lamar's lyrics that he used to obliterate the certified lover boy, aka Drake, this past summer. And this article is from Sports Illustrated. It is titled, Skylar Diggins-Smith's cryptic Kendrick Lamar quote suggests Seattle Storm strife. On Friday, Chicago Sun-Times reporter Nneka Skylar wrote an article that alleged the Seattle Storm coaching staff is under investigation for alleged player mistreatment. A law firm hired by the team is looking into accusations of alleged harassment and bullying tied to on-court performance against the coaching staff during the 2024 season, Skylar wrote. The allegations stem from incidents that happened at practice and during games. An email from the law firm obtained by the Sun-Times showed the investigation has been active for at least 2 weeks. She later added, according to one league source, the investigation was sparked by multiple players' experiences. This report surprised many because the Storm were generally considered to be a tight-knit organization. However, now that this investigation has surfaced, there seems to be some additional evidence that all is not well in Seattle right now. This is shown by Seattle Storm veteran Skylar Diggins-Smith and Nneka, the latter whom is the president of the Women's National Basketball Players Association, or WNBPA for short, both allegedly unfollowing Storm star Jewel Loyd, according to fans on social media. Now, this is when I'm starting to, it's heartbreaking. Why can't we just get along as women, as athletes, as professionals, as human beings? It's y'all really both Nneka. First of all, Nneka, again, these are all allegations, okay? But the fans posted screenshots, okay, about this. So, if you go onto their Instagram account, and if you just type in Nneka's account on Instagram, click on her following and who's following her, Jewel Loyd is no longer there, but she used to be there. They all used to follow each other during this 2024 WNBA season. Now that all this mess is coming out, they seem like they Ben stopped following her. They said her performance on the Olympics was just horrible. They said she was stinking it up on the court during the Olympics. She was stinking it up on the court during the playoffs. Again, the Las Vegas Aces literally swept the freaking Seattle Storm up like nobody's business. I remember in game 2, because remember the playoffs is best 2 of 3, the best of 3, so best 2 of 3. And in game 2, was it game 1 or 2? I'm not sure. But in the fourth quarter, again, guys, they got another piece. They got Gabby Williams, okay, who represented Team France for the women's basketball team this past Olympics, right? And they won silver. They came in second place because of Gabby Williams. She was moving and grooving. So they acquire Gabby Williams, the Seattle Storm. And during the playoffs, the Las Vegas Aces, they were able to hold them at just 2 points in the fourth quarter. They only scored, guys, the freaking Seattle Storm was only able to put up 1 point during the entire fourth quarter while the Las Vegas Aces just went on the run. It's what's going on here? And a lot of fans was something's not right with this team's chemistry. They said something's not clicking. And even months ago, I was I hope Quinn doesn't get fired, because I'm how come she has such valuable pieces on her chessboard, but it seems like either she's not utilizing them in the way that they need to be utilized, or they just don't know how to come together and play as one team. How they say, if you did band or music, one band, one sound. The same issue that we have in Chicago Sky. Them ladies get on the court when it's time for a big game, it's time for us to show up and show out. They get on the court like they don't even know each other. They don't even know what positions they are to play. They act like they literally just met. It's they act as though both the Seattle Storm and Chicago Sky would act as if the coach just went out on the street of Seattle, the street of Chicago, and said, hey, they just gathered 5 random women up and say, hey, are you guys in the mood to play basketball? And they were like, yeah, sure, we'll play basketball. Don't know each other from a can of paint. You put them in the court and it's just a disaster. This is from a Twitter user by Danny Cat Day. She tweeted, who was going to tell me that Nneka and SDS, that's short for Skylar Diggins-Smith, unfollowed Jewel and vice versa? The girls really are fighting. WTF? What the F? And the article continues. At the time of this article, we can confirm that Agumake and Diggins-Smith don't currently follow Loyd, and Loyd doesn't follow either of them, although we can't say for certain whether they followed each other in the past. The fans are saying that they did follow each other in the past. Something happened. Diggins-Smith and Agumake both joined the Storms this past offseason, hoping to form a big 3 along with Loyd. In addition to these alleged unfollowings, Diggins-Smith posted iconic lyrics from Kendrick Lamar's Euphoria song on her Instagram story on Sunday night. One post wrote, "Don't tell a lie on me," while her next post wrote, I won't tell the truth about you. Remember, that's what Kendrick Lamar said about Drake. He said, "Don't tell lies about me unless you want me to tell truths about you." And he went in, Family Matters and Meet the Grams. It was a whole lot of nonsense. I love that whole sequence. That was when hip hop this past April, May. That mess went on for damn near 3 months. I was making videos on it back to back. I was talking about the 48 Laws of Power. Guys, check those old videos out if you're interested in my commentary about how Drake and Kendrick Lamar was coming at each other and how ultimately Kendrick Lamar won due to him more than likely reading the 48 Laws of Power. But back to it. It says the article closes out. It's unknown what exactly Diggins-Smith is referring to, but the timing is suspect to say the least. It seems there's more to come from the Seattle Storm story. That is correct. It does seem like there's a lot more to be said, a lot more tea that will be spilled when it comes to the Seattle Storm's allegations of players' mistreatment, abuse, harassment due to their on-court performance. Now, fans of the Seattle Storm said, the core four. In my mind, when I think of the Seattle Storm's core four, who could actually be a playoff contending team, and they can actually try to go up against the bigs, like the New York Liberty, the Las Vegas Aces for the championship, for the title, I think of Jordan Horston, Skylar Diggins-Smith, Nneka and Jewel Loyd. Okay, now that she's been included, again, that's my core four, but if I had to just say four, I would take out Jordan Horston and put in Gabby Williams. But again, that to me, that's the starting five. And of course, Ezzy, she's the sixth player, okay? Again, the freaking Seattle Storm got talent. Them ladies on there are not bums at all, okay? Even Nika Mule, okay? Even though, she didn't get that many minutes, and when she did get some minutes, she really wasn't cooking up like we really want and expected her to. But again, when you look at the Seattle Storm, you got to keep it real. Though they're not a bum team. Like the meme and jokes always go, in these modern day times, if you really want to know how somebody feels about you or how some individuals feel about another individual or individuals, see if they follow each other on Instagram. And it just seems it's crazy that both Nneka and Skylar Diggins-Smith no longer follow Jewel Loyd, and she no longer follows them. This is crazy because imagine the Minnesota Lynx, right? You don't never hear about no drama. That's another reason why a lot of people, I believe, and a lot of people can speculate that a lot of fans think that the Minnesota Lynx is boring. There's the way they run their offense. The truth is, they seem like a very wholesome type of team, But imagine the same team as the Minnesota Lynx. Imagine if Napheesa Collier, okay, because she's the president, her and Breanna Stewart are presidents of the, Unrivaled League, right? Imagine because she's the president of that or whatever she got going on, the Minnesota Lynx players are actually excluding freaking Napheesa Collier from the players' teams, organizations, and meetings, even though she's a player on that team, aka that's what they claiming that the girls are doing to Nneka. Because she is the president of WBMPA, okay, that organization for women and basketball, professional basketball, they're like, we don't need her, to eavesdrop in on the Seattle Storm's team meetings because it's a conflict of interest, which makes no sense. So again, imagine if the Minnesota Lynx were excluding Napheesa Collier from freaking team meetings, and then you find out that Kayla McBride, Courtney Williams, Alana Smith, they all unfollowed her, and Napheesa Collier unfollowed them, and then they say people are bullying people. It's like guys, y'all are too old for this. Y'all need to grow up. And again, Skylar Diggins-Smith saying y'all need to quit lying on me. I ain't bullied nobody. I'm innocent, because again, the articles that were when they first broke out, when it was first breaking news, the articles always said explicitly it's the coaching staff, okay, that's been accused of harassment and bullying, okay. But even in that conclusion, I guess, in those statements that were made in those articles, people were saying Skylar Diggins has a history of cussing out her teammates when she's upset with them and their poor performance. And she even herself had commented during the WNBA's 2024 exit interview. She said that I'm not every player's and my team's cup of tea. So it's okay, so we can kind of tell that, Skylar Diggins is low-key a hothead. The fact that she got in Diana Taurasi's face when she was at the Phoenix Mercury, again, she was low-key getting bullied too because she had gotten pregnant, and they were excluding Skylar Diggins-Smith from using the sport equipment, and she couldn't use the facilities. Again, this woman is postpartum, and that's already hard, I can imagine, on a woman's body, her mental, her emotional health. Their bodies have changed. She wants to get back into that top peak performance of a professional athlete, and because she just gave birth to her second child, you guys are denying her access to a facility even though she's still in that team. That's bananas to me. And again, she said she didn't like the way that she was treated on the Phoenix Mercury. It's video proof of her and Diana Taurasi literally was about to get down on the basketball court. Again, all in all, this is very unfortunate. you know, it just seems as though Jewel Loyd is becoming somewhat of a scapegoat. Again, like the fans have the true fans of the Seattle Storm for months now. Okay, I say after the post Olympic break, that's when the post Olympic break, the Olympics was like a blessing and a curse. It really exposed teams who were just lackluster, right? I said like Chicago Sky, my team, my favorite team. I had to freaking, you know, come here, make commentary, make my honest opinions, and give my analysis about how horrible we played after that post-Olympic break. And a lot of the fans who are huge fans of the Seattle Storm, they said, look at how Jewel Loyd has, like, her jump shot is gone. She's lost her shot. She seems like she's injured. She could be weak. It's like something is not right with Jewel Loyd. And then, like, here it comes out, like, you know, Skylar Diggins-Smith and Nneka they didn't unfollow her. She unfollowed them. Nneka allegedly is being excluded. Skylar Diggins is cussing people out. You know, it's just a bunch of nonsense going on in the Seattle Storm. So, guys, this is still a developing story, but I do feel bad for literally the team as a whole. Because, again, workplace bullying is a huge thing. Again, adults bullying adults is a phenomenon, believe it or not. I used to think that it was something that stayed on the playground when we were in elementary school as kids. Unfortunately, a lot of those same kids in elementary, middle, and high school, they continue that abhorrent behavior as they grow up into adults in the workplace. But again, like, you know what? I hope they can just come together. I don't want to see this team fall apart. Gabby Williams was just praising them. Nneka was just praising her team. She was praising the WNBA. She said there's no such thing as racism in the WNBA. She said there's no such thing as discrimination and unfair treatment in the WNBA. So it's like, and then not even 2 weeks later, all this is coming out. All this mess surrounding the Seattle Storm team, your team, is coming out. This is all very just odd. Guys, comment down below your thoughts about Skylar Diggins-Smith and Nneka unfollowing Jewel Loyd and Jewel Loyd unfollowing them. Do you guys believe that Jewel was like, she deserved, I don't know, again, like, she doesn't deserve mistreatment or to be bullied or harassed, of course, but like just the criticisms that she received. Again, she still is the gold mamba to a lot of people's eyes, including my own. But again, like, you have to be honest, after that post-Olympic break, Jewel she was struggling. Comment down below.